Alright, today for this video I'm going to be ranking all the SML game night videos. SML is this channel with, Jeffy. They've been around for a long time. Their game night videos are really solid, so I decided I rank them all. Just because I thought this would be a good idea, and I have nothing better to do. So, yeah. I mean, most of their game night videos are really solid, and for most of them I knew which ones were going to be at the top. Okay, it's just really early in the morning. Yeah, okay. Anyways, let's get started. At number 9, Game Night 5. To be honest, the reason this is low is because the first board game they take is at least half of the video. Because the first game, Bubble Talk, is just like this game where you draw an image and then you go and take these speech bubbles, and every time Junior, Joseph, and Cody laugh, it gets kind of old really quickly. And then the next game they do is Looney Bin, where it's this trash can and you have to throw these paper balls in, and it ends with the Looney Bin going out of the door, which was open for some reason. Then they play Prove It, where you have to do a question and prove that you can answer it. And then they play this other board game, which I forgot what it was called. And then they play Yeti and My Spaghetti, which ends with Joseph and Junior trying to make Cody eat a dog turd. Don't ask. And number 8, Brooklyn Guys Adult Game Night. I mean, the reason this is so low is because Brooklyn Guy's brother Jonathan was being really weird and wanting to do weird stuff to Brooklyn Guy's wife Karen for some reason. I mean, the video starts out with Junior, Joseph, and Cody playing board games, but then goes to Brooklyn Guy and his adult friends playing board games. Yeah, Jonathan being really weird really drags this video down. Don't mind the noise. Yeah, Jonathan's character's just being really weird. At number 7, Game Night 8. This is the newest Game Night video. It first starts off with Don't Break the Ice, which has some facts about the penguin, Philip the Penguin, and ends with Cody losing. And then they play this game where you have to guess a word, and has a really drawn-out scene of Penelope laughing at the word toot, which is not funny. Then it ends with them playing pigs on trampolines. The reason this video is dragged down so low is the fact that the long out drag scene of Penelope laughing at the word toot. It could have been better, but yeah. And number 6, Game Night 4. This is a pretty solid one. That's why it's around the middle. They first start off playing Batman vs. Superman, the board game, which Junior says Superman is going to win, and it does. So then they move on to Jenga Quake, which is like regular Jenga, but sometimes it moves. Then they play Doggy Doo, which is really weird, where you have to scoop poop for some reason. Then they play Would You Rather, which is an actual board game. Well, I don't have to explain that. Then they moved on to Boom Boom Balloon, which is this game where you have to put these sticks in and then pop a balloon. This is honestly probably my favorite board game of the episode. And Jeffy shows up, and the fact that they used the wrong dice for a majority of it was pretty funny. And it ends with Jeffy just popping the balloon. And then they end with this weird game called Don't Wake Daddy. I'm not kidding, that's an actual board game. And it ends with them just standing there, which kind of drags it down. Anyway, moving on. At number 5, the original game night, which starts with them playing Jenga. And Cody has this whole, blueprint of how to win the game, but ends up losing. Then they move on to Monopoly, and Junior tries to get his personal chef. I'm not kidding, they actually have a chef. But, yeah, he didn't want to deal with that. And then they end up doing Operation, which Cody takes seriously again. But I don't remember who lost. It's been a while. At number 4, Game Night 6. They first start off with Junior and Joseph. Cody didn't show up yet. We're playing this weird Play-Doh dentist thing and ripping out his teeth. And then Cody shows up with his robot called Meebo. Well, the first board game they play is Joking Hazard, where you basically have to create a comic strip, which had some questionable things in it, but was still a pretty solid board game. Then they play Jenga again, which ends with Meebo knocking it over. Then they play this game where you first have a sentence with a blank, and then you have a card with something, which is pretty funny. And then it ends with Meebo stealing a cookie from the chef. This game night video is really solid, but time for the top 3. At number 3, Game Night 3. Ironic. First starts off with Junior, Joseph, and Cody about to play Let's Go Fishing. And then it jumps to Jeffy, but then Jeffy joins. First they start Let's Go Fishing, and it ends with Junior knocking over the board. Then they move on to What's in Ned's Head, which is alright. And then Jeffy pulls out a GUN. Don't ask. Then they play the Game of Life, which kind of feels unrealistic. Because, well, I don't know. Then they play Pie Face. Then it ends with Brooklyn Guy and about the whole thing that happened in What's in Ned's Head. This is a pretty solid one with a pretty solid lineup of board games. But the other two before this were just better. At number 2, Game Night 7. First starts off with Cody asking a game night, and then playing Fantastic Gymnastics, which is honestly kind of a dragged out scene with Junior thinking he got 100, but then the gymnastics guy fell over. And then Junior made another mom joke, and Cody said if he made another mom joke, he was leaving. Then they play Soggy Doggy, which goes over really quickly. Then Junior wants to play past the Cody's mom, which is really past the pigs. And then Cody leaves, and Junior tells Joseph he couldn't find Pass Your Dead Mom around joke, which is messed up. Then Junior calls Brooklyn Guy, and then they play Operation. Then Junior, Shapipi, and a drunk Brooklyn Guy were playing the Game of Life. It's a pretty solid video. Probably one of the better ones, but it can't top this one. At number 1, Game Night 2. I'm not kidding, Game Night 2 is really good. It first starts off with Hungry Hungry Hippos, which is really good. Then they played Twister, which went over pretty quickly. Then they played Headbands, which Joseph was a god at headbands. And we even got a cameo from Shrek. And then it ends with them playing Pictionary. This is a really solid game night video, with my personal favorites being Hungry Hungry Hippos and Headbands. All of the board games they played are really solid, and there was no real fighting. Okay, and there we go. Stay tuned.